Full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Houston Texans. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touch. Back, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Hands up, lead! All day, every day, any day.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Dalton gives to Bernard.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Passing, it's Dalton. Hard throw, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. It was Nick Vigil there on the stop.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Watson on 3rd down. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, here's Watson. And an alley to run. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Element wide open down the middle. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 47 yards. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say,
and he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there.
It's got to the point when we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Jadeveon Clowney picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Here's Kevin Huber now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Here comes Carter. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. On 2nd and 9, Watson. That's going to be caught, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 28 yards, and the Texans will add on to their lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. To throw again on 2nd down. Dalton. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Bernard. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not got much success against him and his team.
Oh, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Texans scoop it. It's a foot race. The 40, the 20, 10, and it's a touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all of these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
And now out comes Houston. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse.
He rifles one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off, and the ball is knocked out. And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something. Double turnovers, but instead they'll keep the possession on the INT. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Now it's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A pickup of 5 that time at a 1st down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Flush to his right. And it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Throwing again is Watson. Man open. That's Kiki QT complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. They'll try to run for it with Miller. Miller with first down and more. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 33 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead. So they went to the ground game on third, hoping to pick up the first. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, third down. They don't care that it's third and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call a running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up because I haven't met offensive linemen yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon. So the sack, and now it's third and long for Dalton and the Bengals.
Move! 5-6. Hey, echo!
The final act of the first half, Dalton. And caught, right side, Green. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Watson will bring up the Texans here first and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The first play of the second half, a big success, over 30 yards.
First down, Houston.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Watson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans continue to pour it on. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go! The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Hands up! Wait! Check 55 to Mike! Hey, watch that! Hey, watch that!
The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, second down. We've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down, make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. A first down carry now for Miller. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 17, Watson. And this results in 6. Touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Texans add on. He doesn't need a lot of space for an electric run. He showed that there. Heck, they told us this week they were hoping he would break a big one. He just did.
And what did his offensive, remember we talked with the offensive line? And one of the guys, one of the stalwarts said, I don't even have to make a great block for him. If I just breathe bad breath on the guy in front of me, often that opens up enough space for him to go.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. To throw on 2nd and 6. Dalton under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Miller. And he'll rumble for about 5. Up. Close to the 40.
Oh, boy, I know you felt that one.
The stop made by Andrew Billings. 5 yards on the play.
The Texans on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Watson going to give this one to Miller. But he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 15. Dalton here from the gun. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Whitney merciless. Able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision.
Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Fielded about a yard deep.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Defensively, you've got the nice lead here in the 4th quarter. You're saying, if they want to get a run of a little over 10 yards, that's okay.
I hear what you're doing there, and I think you're onto something. They've loosened up on defense, so don't get fooled by the nice runs you're getting now. You've got to get bigger plays, possibly think about throwing the football a bit more here.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Dalton toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Bradley Roby there defensively. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
It's 4th down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Andy Dalton. He's got his man here. It's Green. And no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Hands up, Lee. You better bring it. You better bring it.
From midfield here, Dalton. He's going to let it fly. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation,
and that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no zero. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And oh my, mistake there. Backs up, takes a fair catch at the 3-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 3-yard line.
Come on, D.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. So backed up closer to the danger zone here from the 2. This is 2nd and long. Well, Charles, it's one thing to